Last time we discussed the electrical activity of the heart. Today we'll talk about cardiac cycle and heart sounds. Let's see a case first. Mr. Lin, a 48-year-old man, complained of shortness of breath and chest pain. He fainted on exercise. A loud systolic murmur was heard over his right upper sternal border. What is systolic murmur? Why did Mr. Lin have a systolic murmur? Here are the learning objectives today. After learning this session, students should be able to describe the process and mechanism of each phase of a cardiac cycle. Explain the generation of normal heart sounds. Predict changes in heart sounds in valvular stenosis and insufficiency. Cardiac cycle is defined as a sequence of mechanical events occurring in the heart with each heartbeat. It consists of systolic and diastolic. The entire cardiac cycle can be divided into 7 phases. Let's start with atrial systole. The atria contract and push blood into the ventricles at the last third phase of ventricular diastole. Then the ventricular diastole comes to an end. The volume of blood in each ventricle at the end of diastole is called end diastolic volume, EDV. On average, it's about 140 milliliters. Now, ventricular systole starts. Contraction of the ventricles increases the ventricular pressure rapidly, closing the AV valves. The heart now is a closed cavity. The ventricles contract without changing its volume. This phase is called isovolumic contraction phase. Iso means equal. When ventricular pressure exceeds the pressure in the great arteries, the semilunar valves are forced to open. Then blood rushes from the ventricles into the aorta and the pulmonary trunk. This is the phase of rapid ejection. As the blood flows into the great arteries, ventricular volume decreases dramatically. The ejection of blood becomes slower, so-called reduced ejection period. The volume of blood pumped out from each ventricle during the ejection period is called stroke volume. It is about 70 milliliters. Not all blood in the ventricles is ejected into the large arteries during systole. The volume remaining in the ventricle is called end systolic volume. It's about 70 milliliters. The concept of ejection fraction refers to the fraction of end diastolic volume ejected in one stroke volume. Normally, it is approximately 50% to 55%. It means during each systole, at least 50% of blood volume in the ventricles is ejected into the aorta or pulmonary trunk. The ejection fraction reflects how effective the ventricles are in pumping blood out. It is an indicator of cardiac contractility. The higher the ejection fraction, the stronger the cardiac contraction. At the end of contraction, ventricular relaxation begins swiftly. The intraventricular pressure decreases rapidly. The blood in the aorta and the pulmonary trunk flows back toward the heart, closing the semilunar valves. Again, the ventricle becomes a closed chamber. Ventricular pressure drops dramatically without changing its volume. This is the phase of isovolumic relaxation. When ventricular pressure drops to a level slightly below atrial pressure, the AV valves open. The blood returned from the circulation flows passively through the atria into the ventricles. This is the phase of rapid filling. About 80% of ventricular filling occurs in this period. As blood goes into the ventricles, ventricular pressure rises. Ventricular filling continues, but at a slower rate. This is the slow filling phase. Then atrial contraction comes again, and next cycle starts. Now we have the entire picture of the cardiac cycle. During diastole, the ventricles relaxes and fills with blood. Then during systole, ventricles contract and blood is ejected into the aorta and the pulmonary artery trunk. Please note that most blood flows passively from atria to ventricles, but all blood to the arteries is actively pumped by the ventricles. For this reason, the proper functioning of the ventricles is much more crucial to survival than is atrial functioning. You may be asking, all this in one heartbeat? The answer is yes. The cardiac cycle is this precise sequence of events that keeps blood moving from the veins through the heart and into the arteries. The atria and the ventricles have their own cycles. Suppose the whole cardiac cycle is 0.8 seconds. The atria contracts for about 0.1 second and then relax for 0.7 seconds. Ventricular contraction lasts for about 0.3 seconds, followed by 0.5 seconds of relaxation. Now you see, both the atria and the ventricles have a longer relaxation than contraction. Why? This is of great significance for the body. Increase in heart rate reduces cardiac cycle, but largely shortens the period of slowing filling. Rapid filling and ejection phases are not affected in the physiological range of heart rate. So the blood supply is maintained within normal range. However, when the heart rate is greater than 200 beats per minute, both diastole and systole are greatly reduced, and the heart now is not able to provide enough blood for the body. This is the end of part 1. Discussion continues in next session. Thank you.